Why why were you bullied when you were a child? Because the bully is afraid. The bully is afraid of their parents who are bullying them. Why is your boss loud and aggressive? It's because he's afraid or she's afraid to be seen of anything less than the authority that they believe they need to be. Why are people hoarding, accumulating money, resources? It's because they're afraid. Why are people breathing 1,000 times per minute in beta wave frequency all the time? It's because they're afraid. Why is my dad unable to go into joy when I share joy, and goes into control, logic, guilt? It's because he's afraid. It's because he's afraid of opening up that door, that closet inside of him. Because in order to get to joy, you need to clear out a lot of sadness first. Why are people unable to look you in the eyes? Why are people unable to look up from their phones? It's because they're afraid. Not what they will see in others, but what they will discover about themselves if they become intimate again. Why are communities almost every time ejecting me, exiling me? Spiritual communities, tattoo studios, businesses. It's because they're afraid. Almost exclusively, always, is it the main alpha male, the main kahuna, the main chieftain that is afraid that I'm gonna take his women, that I'm gonna present myself as a better leader. And I'm not here to be King Arthur. I'm Merlin. I'm the background wizard, support to the main character. I don't want to be in the spotlight, not like that. I'm not a tank. I'm not here to carry. And I can help that business thrive. But that initial fear of, oh my God, this person is going to take over the business. They're going to take over all the women. As if status is that important, as if hierarchy is important. Of course it is, because we're also partly tribal people. Status was something really important for the longest time, and society pushes that. Why is anybody aggressive? It's because they're afraid. Why is anybody over-explaining and trying and trying? It's because they're afraid. They're afraid if they stay silent, they will seem weak. If they're not aggressive and loud, they will seem like, they don't know what they're talking about. Why is everybody on social media trying to sound certain? You gotta sound certain. You gotta sound like you know what you're talking about, no doubts. The more doubts you got, the more you know things. Because the more you know things, the more you're like, oh my God, there's so much that I don't know. The more you know, the less you know. There's a profound sadness that comes with this. Is realizing that the big majority of humans are deeply afraid at almost every moment of their lives. There's fear in their spine, there's fear in the breath, there's fear in the eyes. Why does somebody reject you? Is it because of you? No, it's because they're afraid. Why does somebody not able to hold a conversation longer than 5 minutes? Or the attention span is 2.5 minutes? It's because they're afraid. It's because if it goes on for longer, things come out. You can't really know a person in 20 minutes. You can't. You really get to know somebody. Really get to know somebody is living with them. And when enough time passes that they become comfortable farting and burping around you, and like walking around in boxers or in their bra or whatever. Like, we're human and we're so afraid. We're just so afraid all the time. One of the most uncomfortable vibrations that I feel is humans being afraid. It's physically so uncomfortable as a second-hand feeling, let alone the people who are living it day in and day out. Why do people never fast? Why do people never skip food for a day? Because they're afraid they're gonna die. You're not gonna die. Why do people don't go and visit Mexico or Costa Rica or China or Thailand or Vietnam or Japan? Some of these things might be outrageous and ridiculous for some of us. For some people are like, no, Mexico, oh my God, because they've seen a bunch of TV shows when they were children about Mexicans being whatever, or about the Japanese being whatever, or about Japan, oh my God, it's the far, like, when I speak to my mom about Japan, she's like, oh, that's such a beautiful nation. It's because she doesn't know anything. She doesn't know one thing about it. And then why does she say such things? It's because she's afraid. She's afraid to say, I have no idea who they are. I have no idea what it's like being there. And this is the big majority of people. Is they will act strong because they're afraid to say, I don't know what these people are like. I might be wrong. I might not know this. One of the biggest fears of people, acknowledging and expressing, I don't know this. I've never been there. I've never tried that. I've never met these people. I've never traveled there. I've never experienced physically anything about it. Therefore, I'm gonna speak and be loud and be aggressive and take up a lot of space with a lot of empty air in order to hide the fact that I'm afraid that I have no idea about any of this. And it's okay. I got no idea about construction. I have no idea about plumbing. I'm completely ignorant about how to connect a sink with the piping system of the house. I have no idea about electrical wiring, except in the human body, that I'm an expert in. My dad's an electrician. And I'm also an electrician for the human body. So I got some of it from him, only in a different area. So I had some other examples. I'm not afraid to say this. I had a lot of examples about this. I was like, I'm gonna go on this video. This video is gonna be an example, and then it's because they're afraid. And then another example, and it's because they're afraid. And I forgot a lot of them. I forgot a lot of them. But you get the point. You really do get the point. There's only two states, actually. There's only two states. Fear or love, or contraction or expansion. And you can be expanded in fear, and that's aggressive, loud, proving yourself, controlling, bending everything else, because if you don't control everything around you, then the world moves you, and if the world moves you, then you are moved by it, and you're afraid to become soft and be moved, because then you might cry, you might break down, you might realize your whole life is a lie. And you can be fearful and expanded. That's aggression, control, domination, all these outward forms that seem strong, but they're actually fear. Spicy fear, loud fear. And then you got contracted fear, right? Contracted fear is anxiety, depression, being scared of movement of any kind. And then you got contracted love. Contracted love is yin. It's not actually contracted as in spasmed. It's just being low. I would say I am contracted love most of the time. Mostly yin, it's listening. Contracted love is love that gives space, love that allows, allowing love, a holding space. And then you got expanded love. This is expanded love. Me doing this video is expanded love. I'm expanding my voice with love to everyone that's gonna hear it. And first and foremost, to myself. I do these videos for the world, but first and foremost, I do these videos for myself. Because this is me nourishing myself with my voice, speaking my truth every day. And also stepping into courage, which I talked about in the previous video. Courage is one step above the neutral line. It's what gets you out of fear. So this is me in the expanded love and courage state every day. So there's only these two states. And every single thing that everybody does can only come from these states. And if the outward expression is aggressive, false courage, trying to control things, domination, bullying, loud, proving, and the underlying core is fear, anything that comes as a result of that initial seed being planted is gonna be fear. So take note of that. And this is to give everybody compassion. This is a reminder for myself. It started as a reminder for myself that then became like, this is how basically all of my videos are. It's me realizing something about my life and then being like, I should make a video about this. So this started as just me explaining all the behavior of all the people around me as, nah, they're actually just afraid. Why am I feeling this from that person? Oh, it's because they're afraid. Why is that person being allowed now? Oh, it's because they're afraid. Why is this happening? Yeah, they're afraid as well. So it was just me realizing to have compassion about the world and to give up, really truly give up seeing any adults as adults. Anybody that's older than me, I was immediately like, oh, this is a wiser person. This is a more stable person. No. If there is that such a thing as adult, I'm the closest one to that. In 99% of all the environments that I'm ever in. And it's not an easy thing to realize. And if you're on my channel, listening to this, resonating with most of what I'm saying, you are that as well. No matter how old you are. Age is not the indicator. For the longest time, I thought age is an indicator. That immediately, the longer you are on this planet, the more mature you are, the more brave you are, the more wise you are about your decisions. And the reality is that most people are a hazard to themselves and to other people around them. Not intentionally, and not being evil about it, just incapable of many things, responsibility, many things. It's because we and they live in fear. So this is ultimately an expanded love of having compassion, like I said, not about blaming people, guilt tripping anyone, pointing any fingers, just having discernment that the majority of humans on this planet is in fear mode all the time. And what they're talking about is stemming from fear, however it might sound. So two things to end off, don't get hooked by people's words. The language mostly doesn't mean anything to most people. It's not connected to anything under the throat. The emotions, the fear, this is where it comes from. Emotional, afraid, trying to prove, rushing, scarcity, accumulating things, anxiety, depression. So don't get fooled by language, and don't look at people as anybody older than you being adult, or anybody being adult. Like I said, like I need to really look at the world as, if there are any adults or anything that is close to it, because I don't want to, like, as much wisdom and maturity as I possess, I still, like, the more you know, the less you know. But I just want to tell you that if you are on this channel regularly and resonating with stuff that I speak about, you are the thing that's closest to a wise adult there is in the big majority of the places that you're going to go to. And this is a hard pill to swallow, and also a very empowering pill to swallow, knowing your inner strength. Human design one-on-one coaching, relationship coaching, family and business coaching. Send an email through my website. Elemental balancing, archetypal balancing, breathwork, fascia, reset, and recalibration. Shamanic practices, emotional healing, mental healing, anxiety, depression, healing addictions. I've helped many people, many clients with all of these things. If you want to be considered to join my new group, fill out the form in the description of the video. Follow me on Instagram, donate through my PayPal if you wish to support these videos. Subscribe, like, and comment. For example, what are your biggest fears and what do you see that people around you are mostly afraid about? And how are you brave today? What are you going to do today to be brave? Stay brave, beautiful people.